What do you do when you think your home is haunted? Do you call a priest? Or maybe an exterminator? What if the ghost only appears at night? Well, it seems there's no shortage of ghost stories that detail inexplicable experiences in our own homes. When it comes to ghosts, many people prefer not to think about them too much. They'd rather just enjoy their spooky stories from afar. However, if these stories were to happen to them, they might react in a different way. The hole was just big enough for a small person to fit through, and when she looked through it, she could see another room. This room had a door, but it didn't open. She tried her hardest, but it wouldn't budge. For instance, this Reddit user was shocked one day when she found out that she wasn't alone. She was never alone. That is, her story really starts when she was just 9 years old. Not just any toys, but ones that she recognized. There was also a hole in this room as well. She had never noticed it before, but somehow her ghost had been with her for her entire life. The truth is that nobody knows. The original poster never said anything more about it. But that hasn't stopped people from sharing their thoughts in the comments. A hole that looked exactly like the one in her old room. It was then she realized that she wasn't alone. Whatever had been on the other side of that door had been with her the whole time. There's always something else out there that we can't see or hear. So the next time you hear a strange noise in your home, just remember, you're not alone. I was fixing a house once, and the homeowner wanted me to fix a squeaky door. It was a solid wood door, and when I went to close it, it stuck. As I looked closer, I noticed that the door was actually wobbling slightly because the nails had come loose. I fixed the door and tested it out, but then it started sticking again. I looked around and noticed that someone had hammered the door closed from the other side. I told the homeowner about it, and he said, "That's impossible. No one has been in that room for over 20 years. We checked to make sure, but there was no other way in or out. He ended up hiring me to stay in the house until we figured out what was going on. 3 days later, we finally got it to stop hammering by piling books against the door jamb. It was weird. These were her toys from when she was a child. But how could this be? She had given all of them away years ago. My mom, dad, and sister all slept with their doors open in our home, and none of them heard anything. I assumed it was a dream. One morning, I went downstairs and saw my dad standing by the staircase, looking somber. He told me that he had gotten a phone call from my mom's sister because she had called crying in the middle of the night. Then my dad told me that my mom and sister didn't remember calling her. I still don't know what happened. She even grew to accept the fact that she may never know what was behind that door. She just hoped that whatever was behind that door didn't come out. However, there are a few comments that stand out from the rest. She had moved into a new home with her parents, but things didn't seem right. Something seemed to be missing. It felt empty, but she couldn't figure out why. But then one day she heard some strange noises coming from his room. At first she thought it was just her imagination, but then she started hearing regular scratching sounds every night. Eventually she couldn't take it anymore and went to investigate. Then one day she discovered a small hole in the wall behind her closet. She was shocked to find that the hole had grown and was now large enough for a person to crawl through. What was on the other side of that door? Was it responsible for the strange noises? Maybe it was time to find out. As she got older, the mysterious room became a mystery that she couldn't solve. Many years later, she now had a son of her own and had decided to raise him in the same house. She went to the room where she used to keep her childhood bedroom and checked behind the closet again. With her son in tow, she put her hand on the doorknob and pushed it open. She had no idea what to expect, but she was hoping that whatever was on the other side wasn't dangerous. When the door opened, however, she felt like she had just entered another dimension. The other side of the door was filled with toys, and that's when she noticed something else. It had watched her grow up, play with her toys, and even sleep in her bed. You might be wondering who or what was on that other side of the door. Some people believe that it was a ghost, while others think that it was just a figment of her imagination. One user wrote, "If you ever get an opportunity, check behind pictures on walls." Another user added, "When I was about 13. I woke up in the middle of the night to what sounded like screams in the next room." While these stories may be scary, they're also a reminder that we're never really alone. Now, comment your experience with ghosts.